What's up, guys? Welcome to Nolan Talks. It's been an interesting week for LSU yet again. There's been a lot of rumors and a lot of reports continue to come out about players potentially transferring and, the defensive coordinator spot, candidates for that. And I kind of just wanted to take some time and talk about that tonight and also talk about the state of the program right now for LSU, the state of the quarterback position for LSU. I tweeted a few days ago that it's probably the most talented room that LSU's ever had in program history. Coming off, and of course it's coming off a historically bad year, but there's a bright spot at least, and that's with the quarterback position, and that's the most important position in football. So I just kind of made a little list of just things that we can get excited about for next season. Miles Brennan, he'll be a fifth-year senior. He's coming off I think he had a torn abdomen, so he's coming off an injury, but he's a fifth-year senior, so he's got the most experience out of all the quarterbacks in that room. He had 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, completed 60% of his passes, and actually the first 3 games he played in before his injury, he was literally considered like statistically the best quarterback in LSU history for the first 3 games. I think he had like 300-something yards, and 2 games he had 4 touchdowns, and then one of the games he had 3 touchdowns, and like his numbers were amazing for 3 games, and he got hurt, obviously. He went 1-2 as a starter for LSU, and then TJ Finley came in. I've always thought TJ Finley has the most potential at the quarterback position for LSU. He's got a rocket arm. I mean, you've seen some of the throws he makes on those slant routes. I'm sure those receivers are, that ball comes quick right at him, and they got to be ready to catch that. But, I mean, he's got a rocket arm. He can probably throw the ball like 60, 70 yards with ease, He's 6'5", 260, 270 pounds. He's a freak athlete as far as, his build, but he's a statue in the pocket. He does need to work on, maybe losing a little bit more weight. He did struggle at times as far as like his pocket awareness went, because and he also struggled with like decisions as well. I mean, he had 5 interceptions and a few fumbles, but he had 5 touchdowns, and he led LSU to that comeback win. He had that game-winning drive at Arkansas. That was a really, really impressive game for a true freshman on the road. But yeah, most potential. Just gotta get him in the weight room for an off season, like a normal season. I don't know how this COVID year is gonna affect the weight training this summer, but I know they're actually already working out right now. So he needs to maybe lose some weight, get a little stronger, be able to, quicker feet, and then, he should be in the mix for that starting quarterback position. Also, like Max Johnson, he went 2-0 as a starter. He had 8 touchdowns, 1 interception, completed 58% of his passes. He led us to that huge upset win in the Swamp. He shows great poise for a true freshman quarterback, and I've talked about this before. That's because of his dad, Brad Johnson, the NFL quarterback, definitely prepared him for moments like that, and those situations. He played football in Georgia, at a high level. They're a high level football program from the part of Georgia he was in, and like they're gonna be prepared for like those type of situations. Like he literally came in and he did not ever really look super phased to me. Obviously, sometimes he would run the ball and he'd get smacked by defenders when like it was like, all right, dude, just slide or go out of bounds. Like you're not gonna be, in high school maybe you can make a move and you're more athletic, but in the SEC, like you're not gonna be more athletic than these defenders. Like as a quarterback, that's just not going to happen, especially for a guy like him. He's not that athletic, but he actually has pretty decent legs. And, I mean, I was watching a breakdown on YouTube the other day of someone breaking down, his game against Florida, and they were showing, like, all the impressive throws he's made and whatnot. But, yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting look for the quarterback position next year. There's a lot of, also Gary Nussmeier, true freshman coming in, played for Marcus High School in Texas, which is a huge Texas high school. So he's got that premier coaching, and he'll be ready to come into LSU and maybe make an impact. But oh my goodness, he's super talented. His dad was an NFL coach for who knows how long. That's another guy who, geez Louise, like he's literally a super talented, can probably make any throw on the field. Like it's, I know he's hurt right now because he got hurt in the playoffs when he was playing in high school, but I know he's an early enrollee, so I don't know if he'll be ready for spring, but there's still a lot of time before spring football gets around the corner. But I don't really know if he'll see the field right away, unless obviously a year like last year happens with just like injuries and whatnot. But I mean, this QB competition should be pretty interesting to watch this spring. I'm so excited for spring football. I think that once we get this defensive coordinator hired, figure out, it's gonna literally just. I'm really excited for spring. I think Miles Brennan will be healthy for spring. I don't know if he's working out right now with the team or whatnot, but I think he'll be the starter going forward if he's 100% healthy. I know that. Listen, every quarterback for the 2020 season had at least 130 pass attempts. Out of 3 quarterbacks, like that's pretty decent. That's a lot of experience for quarterbacks, and 2 of them were true freshmen. So, that's great experience for all the quarterbacks there. But I'm really intrigued to see what's going to happen for during spring if Miles Brennan's 100% healthy. Since Max Johnson had the hot hand at the end, are we going to kind of roll with him? Like, I don't know what, Jake Peets, DJ Mangus are thinking about doing. Obviously, I don't know how it's going to work out, who can pick up that offense the fastest. Are they going to keep the same offense they had, just maybe add a little, few things here and there. We'll find out more. Obviously, we can't make any assumptions right now. There's a lot of offseason still left, and, I'm sure they'll figure something out. And, hey, competition brings the best out of everyone, so it's going to be exciting to watch. But, in other news, there's rumors that Elias Ricks is thinking about transferring. I don't know. I'm tired of seeing all these transfer rumors at LSU. Like, I don't know what the heck. Like, why would this guy even transfer? And so I was like, okay, this guy's from California, played at a power high school. That all they did was win national championships and state championships in California. I think it was Mater Dei, I believe. And I'm like, okay, he's far away. Maybe he wants to go somewhere, back west, which I'm like, okay. But then I just started thinking, I'm like, okay, this guy was a true freshman starting for LSU. His first game, he got burned. First play, he got burned, actually. But there's a tweet that his PFF rating, he got graded an 89.1 grade in single coverage, and that's the highest out of any cornerback in college football. He's a true freshman. So let's not act like he was he wasn't a great player for us this past season. Obviously, if you want to transfer back home because it's closer, yeah, whatever, man. Like, I get that. But I looked it up, and his family actually moved to Baton Rouge to be closer to him. So that would make no sense. And also there's rumors of him going to Ohio State. Why would he go to Ohio State when his family's in Baton Rouge? They actually made the move from California to Baton Rouge to be closer to him. There's no way he would go to Ohio State. Like, I don't get the whole Ohio State smoke. People are saying that, Ohio State's been in Elias Ricks' dad's ear all year. And it's like, that's such a violation. If that was true, like, I'm sure the NCAA would pick that up. You know what I mean? Like, if he were to transfer to Ohio State, like, today or tomorrow or whenever, like, that would be super suspicious, and the NCAA would definitely have to do an investigation. Someone would lose, someone would get in big, scholarships, and someone would get in big trouble for that, because that just doesn't make any sense. You can't, who knows? As an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid, like, whatever, man. You never really know, but he did have some cryptic tweets, and I'm looking at him right now. He's got one that, all I do is, yeah. So he's got one that says, patiently waiting, separation year, everything changed so fast. Even when nobody believed, I always believed in myself. Like, what does that really mean? You don't really know. I mean, it's an 18-year-old kid in a pandemic. He's probably in his dorm room all by himself, just tweeting whatever comes to his mind. I'm sure it's nothing to look into. This guy started for LSU, and he posts a lot of stuff about it. Another thing too, is he went private on Instagram. Like, I'd be shocked if he transferred. This guy's going to be the next first round pick out of LSU at the defensive back position. So I'm not really too worried about this. I think he stays, but I guess only time will tell. And I think there's a few more days until he has to register for the transfer portal and register for classes and whatnot. But I'm not really too worried about it. I think he stays. I'd be shocked if he left. I really would. And lastly, the more news on our defensive coordinator search. So it has been reported that LSU has tried to get in contact with Glenn Schumann, the co-defensive coordinator at the University of Georgia. Now, this is the guy who I wanted from the jump. I was into Marcus Freeman. I loved it. But Marcus Freeman was a defense coordinator at Cincinnati. I wanted him. Absolutely wanted him. I think he would have been a great hire for LSU. Marcus Freeman's the next great coordinator, great coach in college football. He'll be head coach here pretty soon. He's going to have success in Notre Dame. Let's just be honest. He's going to have success there. Glenn Schumann, though, he's a guy who works with Kirby Smart. I think he worked at Alabama as well. Co-defense coordinator, absolutely an elite recruiter. This guy literally, I'm looking at his list of players that he brought in. He brought Nolan Smith in, Nakobe Dean. He was the inside linebacker out of Mississippi who LSU was really taking a look at. Trayvon Walker, the defensive tackle there. Adam Anderson, another outside linebacker, defensive end at Georgia. Just 5-star recruits all on the defensive line and linebackers and whatnot. But he's a guy who I wanted from the jump. Co-defense coordinator at Georgia, so he knows the SEC. He's actually gone against LSU before. He makes $600,000 a year. The head defensive coordinator on the team makes $1.2 million a year. I absolutely think it would be foolish of him to return to Georgia. It really would be. Let's just say that. As far as money goes, you're going to get paid a lot more money at LSU being the head defensive coordinator. It'd be your gig, your role. You're not the co-defensive coordinator. You can coach the linebackers at LSU. You can run the defense. No one would have a say with that. LSU's never really done the co-defensive coordinator stuff. I know some schools do that, but LSU, I don't think we're going to do that. I don't think that we're that type of school. I mean, you never know, but you'd be the guy. You'd be the guy running the defense at LSU. You know what I'm saying? You can recruit. You pick the players you want. You can get him to LSU. I know he's a young guy as well. This is a great opportunity for him. This is literally I would be. It'd be such a disappointment if we don't land him. Ryan Nielsen, we didn't land him. Marcus Freeman, we didn't land him. But Glenn Schumann's the guy I wanted from the jump. I want an SEC guy to. I don't want to hear about guys from Colorado State, maybe potential. No, I don't want guys from small schools coming. No, at this point, no. We got to get someone who knows the SEC, who can recruit at an elite level. He's a young coach. This is the perfect guy for that role. He literally would be a perfect guy for that role, man. He coached with Saban, coached with Kirby Smart. He's a guy who I absolutely want, and man, I'll be so disappointed if we get someone else. But we did actually reach out to another guy. His name's Durante Jones. He's the defensive back coach for the Vikings. He's coached defensive backs in college at Wisconsin, Hawaii, UCLA. He's coached also with the Bengals, the Dolphins, and the CFL. And he also coached at 2 Louisiana high schools, Jaranetti, Franklin, and he spent the 2002 season coaching safeties at Nicholls State. So he knows Louisiana. I don't really know too much about this guy. He knows the Louisiana area. I assume that's why he's interested in us. He's a young coach as well. I think he's in his early 40s. NFL background, coaches defensive backs for the Vikings. I'm not really too sure how they were this year as far as their defense goes. I don't think they were great, but hey, man. He said he improved every single defense he's been on since joining that school. So it's reported by ESPN that we're gonna give him an interview. So let's check him out. I don't really know too much about him, but hey, if you can come into LSU and just give us a great scheme and can recruit recruit your butt off, man, hey, you're my guy. Yeah, I would love. I don't really know too much about him. I got to do a little bit more research on him, but I'm excited, man. I'm just glad that LSU still active on this, man. We're not kind of just settling for something. We're going for NFL guys, going for Glenn Schumann at Georgia, man. I'm really excited about this. Obviously, we didn't land our 2 top guys, but it is what it is at this point. And LSU, T-Bob said it best on the radio show a few days ago. He said that at this point, LSU, Coach Orgeron and who's ever hiring these coordinators, they can't please the fans at this point. They can't go for a great PR or whatever the word is, but you just got to get a guy that can. This is a make or break hire for Coach O, and you got to get a guy in there who's going to call a great defense and get these players to play hard and play for them, and you know what I'm saying. This is a huge hire, and I just really hope Coach O gets it right, man. I hope it's Glenn Schumann, but maybe Durante Jones is the right guy for us as well. So you never really know, but. Thank you guys for listening, man. That's kind of all I got for tonight. Hopefully we get this defensive coordinator search figured out by the end of next week, honestly. If not, then, man, it's getting a little scary. But yeah, we'll have to find that out. But I know that LSU's already working out again. They're in their 4th quarter program. They just started that about a week ago. That's exciting to see. I've seen the hype videos on Twitter, and some players are tweeting about it and stuff. And man, I'm super excited for spring football, man. Can't come soon enough. I'm really looking forward to this 2021 season. And yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Appreciate you guys for listening, man. You guys are the best. I love LSU. You guys know that. I know you guys do as well. And hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. And you guys take care.